identity. Each instrument is not trying to be another instrument. Each instrument maintains its own unique identity. But then when all these instruments play together, they play together beautifully in harmony. They play beautifully, absolutely harmoniously. Now, it's the same thing with our country, India, in my opinion. And I've worked with symphony orchestras all over the world, and this is all that I think about when I'm working with them. That India also, people with different identities, people with different political ideologies, cultures, traditions, skin colors, religions, culinary tastes, but somehow everybody come together beautifully in harmony. Everybody does not have to be like everybody else. Everybody does not have to be completely the same. Everybody can maintain their own unique identity and yet work together beautifully. So that is the reason why, to showcase what India is to me philosophically, I decided to record with the symphony orchestra. And of course, that version became quite successful last year, where where it went completely viral, and our Honorable Prime Minister also tweeted it. Lots of billionaires tweeted it, lots of politicians, thought leaders, and it was quite a success, and I was very happy with that. And I assumed at that time that that particular symphonic version is going to be the penultimate version that I'm going to create of the national anthem, because I've created a lot of versions of the national anthem before that. So I thought that this is going to be the final version that I'm never going to create, because I'm not going to be able to top this. But then, after I lived with the version of the national anthem, for a couple of months after that, after the release, I felt that, okay, philosophically I have achieved what India is all about through this particular version of the national anthem. Now I want to achieve something sonically, through the musical instruments itself of India. So that is when I thought the only way to do this is to get the most iconic musicians, and Giridhar Udupa, Sheikh Mehboob, Kalishabi Mehboob, Jayanti Kumresh, and brought them all together. And of course, all of them, I was very fortunate that all of them agreed. Of course, performing with Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia was a huge, huge highlight. I've admired him my entire life. He's an absolute legend, one of the greatest musicians who ever walked our planet. And and also being, I'd never met him before the recording, but I'd been to about 4 of his concerts in the past. Absolutely mesmerized by his concerts. So to be in the same room with him in his presence was a stunning experience.
Particularly respected press persons both from electronic and print media, respected general manager of this Villa Palace. I am very much happy and honored in the midst of all of you, along with Mr. Rickey Kej. You have been hearing to Rickey Kej the entire things, how the things have happened and going on. He is a great person, music composer, and everything, environmentalist, everything you know about him. So he is also associated with our work for the last
way of showcasing that music is the best unifying force. Because if you look at India as a country, I spoke about unity and diversity. You can be from any part of India, you can be across the aisle from any kind of a political, ideology, but the minute you listen to the national anthem, you feel like standing up immediately. And you have this deep respect for your country, and you also understand, and you find a renewed, you want to fulfill your duties towards our country, when you listen to the national anthem, and that's the beauty of this piece of music. So that's the reason why, like I constantly, repeatedly, like if I have to tell you quickly, in 2015 I did a version of the national anthem that was dedicated to the forests and wildlife of our country. It was launched on an album at the Climate Change Conference in Paris, the COP21 Climate Change Conference, and that also was directed by Sairam, that particular video. Then I did another video which was, I did another version of the national anthem in 2021 where I was mentoring a bunch of refugees who are living in India, who are musicians, but once they came into India, they were not able to fulfill their passions of music because they would sing in a language which was not familiar in India. The stage. So the reason why we did that is that so that we could divide the children into 4 quadrants, because there are 4-part harmonies, and I could walk across the platform so that I could be closer to as many children as possible. So that is something that we devised, that this would be a good way to do it. Then of course how to position the microphones, because we need to record them, and we need to record them really well. So the recording was done very early in the morning. It was done at about 6 a.m. in the morning. I think they assembled this, the children started assembling at about 5:30, You saw that video of all the children walking into the stadium. So they assembled at about 5:30, and at about 6:15, 6:30 is when we started recording it. And we did the whole Guinness record attempt. So that was very, very difficult, not because it was difficult to get the logistics in place, but it was difficult to figure out how are we going to do this,